currently your job hunting here in Japan?
I've been trying to find something, but it's kind of difficult being a foreigner.
When it comes to job hunting in Japan, what are the differences?
That was a bit shocking to me.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Takashi from Japan. So today I'm going to interview foreigners in Japan. What's it like working in Japan as a foreigner? I also interview people who are currently job hunting in Japan. So we're gonna discuss about working and job hunting in Japan. Okay, let's get started. Thank you for your time. Where from?
Thank you. I'm from Pakistan. I have been here for 3 years. I'm a PhD student in Tokyo Tech.
University.
In university, yes.
I'm from Australia. I've been in Japan for a year and a half. I'm a student, language school student. I studied design in Australia and I've been studying Japanese in Japan for a year and a half.
I'm from Indonesia. I came in Japan this year in April.
What do you do for a living right now?
I'm a student studying Japanese.
Studying Japanese.
I'm from America, Las Vegas. About 2 years. I'm an English teacher.
JET program?
No, I was on the JET program for 2 years, but now I'm just doing like a random English teaching company.
I'm from Malaysia. I've been here for 1 year and 5 months now. I'm a student currently studying Japanese.
I am from America. So I came to Japan about 2 years ago, and I came with the JET program. If you know what the JET program is, it's the English teaching program. Yeah, I kind of got sick of that really fast, right? So I moved to Tokyo, and now I'm ryugakusei.
Okay. What's something that is common in job hunting in Japan, but you didn't expect?
In Japan, you need to apply 1 year before you graduate. So 1 or 2 years before you graduate, you have to apply for a lot of places and you have to give a lot of exams, writing some essays. But in other countries, you just apply and you get hired in 1 or 2 months at most. But in Japan, the duration is very, very long. And if you miss the time, then your chances become very little.
A lot of papers that are used here. I think that there's a lot of brochure and advertisements that they give out a lot of times.
It's not digital.
It's not digital, yeah.
So you actually need to write down everything.
Write down everything, fill out forms.
Maybe that's why it acquires you to know Japanese more, because you actually need to write in the stuff, right?
Yes, definitely.
For job hunting, I mean, I really didn't know a lot about Japanese style resumes, like how there's like so many levels of interviews that you have to go through. And then, sometimes in job descriptions for Japanese jobs, there's just like 20 hours unpaid overtime per month. So that was a bit shocking to me coming from Australia, yeah.
When it comes to job hunting in Japan, what are the differences?
So Japanese companies, I think it's good that they will hire new graduates fresh out of school with no experience. But in America, it's really hard for new graduates to get any kind of job. So that's like a huge difference. So it's okay if you don't have experience, like you can still get hired. Versus in America, you need to have like 5 years of experience by the time you're 20.
I think job hunting in Japan takes so much time. In my experience in Indonesia, you can just apply to a company and you can get like an interview next week, and you can basically start working like the next week. So it basically only takes like 2 weeks.
Even if it's like big company?
Yes.
Okay.
But in Japan, sometimes it can take like 3, even 4 months. Yeah, and they're doing so many interviews, like 3, 4, 5 times. Yeah, that's like one of the most surprising things that I found out.
I think in Australia, it just feels a lot more straightforward. For a lot of design jobs, like I have worked in the past in Australia and it was just like one interview or, straightforward. It was a bit, more casual, more simple. And there wasn't this difference between 신소득사요 and just like normal employment, like tenshoku or something like that. So that's also a bit different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it hard to do job huntings in Japan in Japanese?
So I think for foreigners, especially those who just came to Japan, I think it's gonna be quite tough adjusting to the culture. The mannerism for like the professional mannerism is very strict. So I think it will take time to get used to. I think Japanese people, they're very detailed, even onto the small things. So even like the way you sit, the way you talk, the way you greet the interviewer or something, they will look at all of them.
Even the way you give your business card.
Exactly.
Right? Like
exactly.
you have to do like with both hands and stuff.
Exactly. You have to do it like both hands and you have to bow like this. So I think for foreigners, it's definitely gonna take time to adjust to the...
So it's not just the language.
Yeah, it's not just the language.
Even if it's Japanese, like you need to use polite Japanese, keigo.
Exactly.
Like, is it hard for you or like you get used to it now?
I'm still not used to it. Even now, it will take time. I think what's really important when you say something is like what to say in that situation. Like for example, like you have to say like yoroshiku onegaishimasu, like osewa ni narimasu, something like that. Like even though you know Japanese, But if you're not used to like saying those words, it will not like come out into your mind.
You never use in your daily life.
Exactly, and you don't use it like when you're in your country. You don't really say that in your own language. So yeah, it will take some time to get used to.
Yeah, because there are many polite Japanese words that cannot be translated in English.
Exactly, right?
Do you think you can get a job here?
We'll see. I don't know.
If you cannot, are you gonna continue teaching English?
No, I'll probably just go back home.
Do you think many foreigners in Japan leave Japan because they cannot find a job here?
I do think people leave because they can't find the job that they really want to do, or maybe even because they can't get the type of salary that they want. I think especially as people get older, like they don't want to have to support a family on an English teaching salary, you know.
The working conditions where I'm from in Australia are just a bit more desirable than what they might be in Japan.
Even if it's international company here?
Yeah, I guess it really depends. I think with international companies, there is some good job opportunities there, but I don't think I have enough experience for what they're looking for a lot of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about your foreign friends? Like, do they get job already, or they might leave as well?
So when I was studying Japanese, a lot of people were looking for jobs, and some people have found jobs already, like my friends, like Korean, Chinese friends from language school. And I did do an internship in Japan at a foreign company. So it was just quite a small company though, so not a lot of job openings there. But my friends there, they're working, living in Japan for many years already. So, it's definitely possible.
I think it's very difficult to get a job in Japan as compared to the other countries, because in other countries they just send an application, you apply, and then you get hired or rejected. But in Japan the process is very long, and as a foreigner we are not used to it, and we are not used to spending that much time in job hunting, so it becomes very difficult. The hardest thing is to apply beforehand, because when you are 1 year before your graduation, you are very busy in your work. But then you have to spend a lot of time searching about job hunting, searching about the companies, applying there, applying for interviews. So your time gets divided at the time when you are extremely busy with your own work.
How do you get those informations?
So most of the times our universities send us information about the job hunting events, which every university organizes among themselves. And there are some other websites which you can subscribe to, and they tell you some information about some events like this one happening.
So like currently I'm attending like a really great school. Mostly my school introduced most of the job hunting information to me.
University.
It's not a university, it's a Japanese language school.
Do you think many Japanese language school helps you to get job here?
I think Japanese language schools in Japan are divided into two types of categories. First is to help people to continue their study to university or to like senmongakko. Then the other one is the kind of school that helps you to get a job in Japan.
So it depends on your goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you knew you wanted to get a job after school before entering the school.
Exactly.
Okay.
So even before entering the school, the teachers are going to ask you like, what's your objective? What do you want to achieve after you graduate from our school? Something like that.
Yeah, because if you want to go to university, you shouldn't go that school that you're in, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Is Japanese required even if it's international company?
I think it depends on the company, but a lot of the times I think it is better for you to have Japanese skills.
Even if it's international company.
Yeah, I think so. But I guess it would depend on your job, things like that too.
What's your situation right now? Like, do you actually apply or you haven't done yet?
Yeah, I've been applying and I get like no interviews. So I just put my resume out and I don't get a lot of feedback, just straight out rejections, to be honest.
I would like to try working for a Japanese company, and then if that doesn't work out, then probably international company.
Any advice when it comes to job interviews in Japan?
Learn the mannerism and learn keigo.
How did you learn?
School.
Also, they teach you.
Yeah. For like mannerism, I think you just have to do a lot of like a part-time job as much as possible when you're here. So the more you do like part-time job, the more you see like the real people who work in Japanese company. You can look at their mannerism, then you can learn from them. I think that's like one of the best ways to learn Japanese work mannerism in Japan. For people who are planning to work in Japan, I think it's better if you start job hunting early. Let's say, for example, if you are planning to start working in April next year, you gotta start looking for a job like this year in August. It really takes so long in Japan to like process your resume and your information, and they're doing a lot of interviews. So I think it's better if you do it early.
Any reason that you looking for a job in Japan instead of your country?
I'm actually looking job for my country as well. So it's not that I'm looking only in Japan. I am looking for jobs all over, and then I will see like which one.
Okay, and just any reason why you're not specifically looking for a job in Japan?
Because it's very difficult to find one in Japan, and I don't know if I can get it. Even though I am a engineer and PhD from a Japanese university, I still feel like as a foreigner, it will be very difficult to find a good job here.
So you speak Japanese, right?
Yeah.
ジョブハンティング日本でするとしたら日本語喋れるのがリクワイアって言ってたと思うんですけど、どのレベル？
日本語能力試験 N1 か N2 ぐらいは必要だと思います。
そういうのがあればちょっと簡単になるかもしれない。
楽になると思いますね。はい。まあ N1 はまあ一番この人日本語できるっていう証明だと思うんですけど、まあ N2 ぐらいはまあ応募する十分かもしれません。
Learn Japanese as much as you can. It's okay if you start off English teaching and you don't enjoy it. Like, just keep trying to find something that you want. And, you know, if you really want to live in Japan, like, I think it's worth trying to do because you never know if you'll really love it here if you don't take that chance. Japanese companies, they usually do like 3 interviews. That's pretty standard. And also, like, there's like very specific way that you kind of have to do everything, even your interview. Like before you go in, you have to knock 3 times. You have to bow. You have to sit on the edge of your seat. You can't sit with your back on the seat. Just like very small things. I would just do a lot of research about it first before coming and trying to find a job here.
Could you share your experience teaching English? What was it like?
So when I was on the JET program as an ALT, you don't really do much. Like you're just kind of in the corner. Like maybe they use you to repeat some sentences, but there's a lot of sitting at your desk.
And then you change the program, right? Like, could you share your process of changing, you know?
Basically, I just found like an English teaching job on a job board and then applied and had 3 interviews and then got hired. The process was a lot more quick this time versus with the JET program, it was like months and months and months.
What about money-wise? How different is it?
JET program definitely pays more. Like this, it's probably the highest paying English teaching job in Japan.
Why did you change then?
Because you can't choose where they send you. So I got sent to the middle of nowhere in Hyogo Prefecture, and I just wasn't enjoying living there.
So it's not about teaching English, it's more like where you used to live.
Yeah, it's about teaching English also, but a lot of it was where I was living.
I was at an elementary school, and it was really nice actually, just because like kids are the same everywhere, all over the world, right? The culture's a little bit different, and like Japanese kids are very tame compared to other kids in other countries, right? My advice for people that want to work in Japan, especially if you're from America or maybe another like Western country, is that life is the same no matter where you go. That's the thing. So come here with the right thoughts in your mind and know that like you're gonna have problems. Don't travel to a different country and move to a different country to escape your problems, because those problems will follow you everywhere. So make sure that you come here for the right reasons.
Could you introduce your background and what brought you to Japan?
I'm Liam. I was born and raised in Hong Kong, and I recently relocated over to Tokyo to manage the executive center business here in Japan.
What does the executive center do?
So we're a flexible workspace provider. We have 200 locations across 34 cities globally, and we have 10 here in Japan. We offer premium private offices, meetings and event spaces, and co-working. We're actually up on level 14 if you want to come and check it out.
For sure.
So this is the executive center. We're here in our lounge space and main reception. We've got a cocktail and barista bar that a lot of our members come and utilize throughout the day. We also have this boardroom here on the right. And if you follow me through this way, we have our co-working area, which is where a lot of our young entrepreneurs come in to set up businesses here in Tokyo and across Japan. They'll utilize that, and then they'll come through and have a coffee meeting here. This is a space for around 25 people. It's recently been taken by a large multinational that has just entered Tokyo. What we can provide is a one-stop solution. We invest heavily into our fit-out. The desks and the chairs and the connectivity are all top of the range. And then we can provide meeting rooms and manager suites within the space as well. And then you can see over here, we've got great views of the Imperial Palace.
Okay, thanks for the room tour. What's the best part of working in Japan?
I think the people. It's such a polite, efficient, and safe environment and society, and it just makes working here that much more enjoyable.
Japan has been dominated by 4 big major companies.
Yeah.
Did you notice the increase of young Japanese people starting their own business as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, it's really interesting because before I arrived here in Japan, that's all I had heard is that people stay in their jobs for life and work for one of the big 4 conglomerates here in Japan. But I've been surprised by the entrepreneurial culture here. I think it's coincided with the overseas investment into Japan as a whole, and the younger generation is starting to step up and step outside of these big 4 conglomerates. There's a lot more of a burgeoning entrepreneurial culture and a startup, and we're seeing that demand from our co-working all the way up to our large private office spaces. The yen is very weak at the moment, and people are looking to make financial improvements in their lifestyle, and they can set up their own business.
Most of my viewers are not Japanese, and some of them want to have their own business in Japan. How can the executive center help?
Yeah, so what we can provide is a one-stop solution to set up your business. It's similar to setting up a bank account. To set up your business entity, you need a business address, and that's what we can provide you. There's no upfront costs. You can come to us and you can just pay a monthly fee towards a co-working pass, and you get access to our entire network.
Because you don't need to basically rent office space.
Exactly. And alongside that, we will provide everything. We can provide receptionists, we can provide hospitality, we fully operate the space, and you get access to all of our meeting rooms, the barista bar, and you can bring your clients up to our space.
That's good, and especially it's in the heart of Tokyo, and then right next to the Tokyo station, so it's very convenient as well.
Exactly. All of our locations are prime locations right on top of one of the major stations here in Tokyo and actually across the rest of our portfolio globally. We're in the best buildings and the best locations, and it's easy for both the new business owners and their clients to come and visit the space.
If you move to Japan, you don't know anyone first, right? How can people find networking here?
So one of the best ways I did it was I joined a lot of these chambers, the American Chamber of Commerce and the British Chamber of Commerce. It was the best way to meet real estate professionals.
How can people work the executive center or find out more?
You can follow us on Instagram or through our website at the Executive Center, and our team's always happy to help.
So if you're interested, please check in the description. There's a link of the company as well. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching so far. How was it? That was interesting. I hope this video will help you if you want to come to Japan and work here. I'm sure it's not easy as lots of my foreign friends struggle to get a job and get a visa as well. But I'm sure it's possible. There's a way to find a job and work here. If you really want to come to Japan, I really hope you can make it. Okay, anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, click like button. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have any question you want me to ask people in Japan, please leave a comment too. See you next time.